In this video, we will be discussing the topic of issuing authorities. We will cover what an issuing authority is, what benefits local municipalities may gain by choosing to become an issuing authority, and how CDOT and our issuing authority partners work in tandem to create the safest highway system possible.
When it comes to managing access on our state highway system, responsibility doesn't rest with CDOT alone. Under the State Highway Access Code, an issuing authority means the entity that issues access permits, which includes county commissioners, governing bodies of municipalities, and the Department of Transportation. To gain access off a state highway, a permit must be signed by the local government and CDOT.
Being an issuing authority gives a community more control over the gray area in the access code. A community that is an issuing authority still needs to follow the access code, but there's engineering judgment baked into many of the criteria in the access code.
Eagle County has been an issuing authority for 27 years.
Eagle County decided to become issuing authority because it gives us a seat at the table in making decisions that involve access to state highways and allows us to represent our constituents in the decision-making process.
Being an issuing authority means having the formal responsibility to review and issue access permits, understand and apply the State Highway Access Code, dedicate staff resources, assign fees, and coordinate closely with CDOT.
That includes engineering time, planning time, and communicating with CDOT.
This commitment of staff should be carefully considered, as it may or may not be the right decision for your unique jurisdiction, depending on available resources.
Being an issuing authority, you also take on that responsibility to ensure that the plans that are submitted are correct and will work.
Best practice is to involve CDOT early. This will avoid miscommunication and rework.
The collaboration and communication is, I think, the most important piece. We have monthly meetings with CDOT, but anytime we have questions, we are in constant communication with CDOT staff to make sure that we're going down the right road.
According to the code, a government entity has 45 days to come to a decision on an access permit. If that time expires, CDOT is deemed the responsible party and will make the determination on the permit.
There could be a lot of redesign, rework. All of that is time and money not necessary to have been spent if CDOT would be involved early.
Remember, CDOT is a resource that issuing authorities can leverage to help navigate the complexities of access management.
It always helps to have, especially the range of specialties that CDOT has, that we can rely on them to help us maybe fill gaps of expertise that we don't have in-house.
It takes time and understanding the code, what the code is. The code will help you make decisions on accesses on the state highway system. But it needs to balance with land use.
CDOT does not make land use decisions. However, the access on state highways influences land use decisions. That's why coordinating with issuing authorities is a two-way street.
So there has to be a collaborative effort between local government and CDOT. And the issuing authority helps with that collaboration.
As an issuing authority, varying codes and standards are also important to take into consideration.
Sometimes it requires more upfront planning and coordination between the two agencies to make sure that the standards are understood and that they're followed from an early stage to avoid any pitfalls later in the process.
Let's look at a left-hand acceleration lane as an example of how an issuing authority and CDOT must coordinate.
When you read the access code, a left turn acceleration lane for many categories of highway is written so that it's if the lane will benefit the safety of the highway system and the motoring public. There's not really a black and white numeric metric for when that left turn acceleration lane is needed. So then you're in the gray area of engineering judgment.
These decisions, when determined together, result in successful projects that improve safety on our highways for all users.
We had probably the biggest project that we've done in partnership with CDOT was the Edwards Spur Road, Edwards Access Road. It was done in 2 phases over 10 years.
The project included 4 complex roundabouts near I-70 and a frontage road that improved access, safety, and connectivity for the local community.
It wouldn't have happened without everyone collaborating.
We always like to say, come to us early and come to us often.
Key takeaways. Becoming an issuing authority provides communities a seat at the table, but does require resources including strong coordination with CDOT, staff resources, and a keen understanding of the access code. Involve the CDOT team early. Ask questions. CDOT is a resource to guide issuing authorities.
We want to be leaders in transportation, but we also want to be great partners for our local jurisdictions.
For more information on becoming an issuing authority, reach out to your regional access manager. To view more tutorial videos, visit www.codot.gov/business/permits/access permits.